I believe we are live. Hello, guys. We are coming to you live from Cyprus. We're looking forward to hearing where you are coming from. We apologize for the background looking a little makeshift. We are traveling in Cyprus at the moment, but we didn't want that to get in the way of the presentation. So, yeah, we are really looking forward to taking you through this topic tonight. It's one we're super excited about, and we've been talking about for a long time. So, as you come in, just let us know where you're tuning in from.
Yeah.
And we're going to get started very shortly.
And let us know if you can hear us okay. Hi, Ferdinand. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, give us a...
Awesome.
Amazing.
Okay, right. So can we go to the presentation? So we'll just make sure
we're seeing everything. Can you see our screen okay? Louise is here. Amazing.
Yay.
Just let us know if you can see the slides.
And our faces.
Amazing. Can see the slides.
Oh, okay.
And our faces. Amazing. Perfect.
How are you guys?
All good. Yeah, so now you should now be seeing our faces and the slides, 2 for the price of 1.
3.
Well, some say so. Are you two? See and hear you. Amazing, Lisa. Okay, awesome. So everything's working the way it should, which is fantastic.
Yeah, now we can dive into something that we've been thinking, and for the last month that we've been away from UK, we've shifted everything.
Yeah, wow.
And it took a lot of reflection and a lot of realizations on our side as well. And that's why we want to talk about this topic, because as business owners, quite a lot of the times we feel like we are not enough, that we need to do better, faster, go grab another course and go do this or be better at this. But reality is different, and that's what we want to share with you today. So how to ignite your business growth from within.
Yeah, but even a little bit more background on why this is such an important topic. And I think the title doesn't, we're going to communicate it throughout, but the gist of it is there's something we're actually quite put off by and quite angry about in what we see in the business world, online in particular. And I'm sure you guys identify with it as well. There's a fake narrative that goes on. Howdy, Janine. At least somebody put a picture in. That's good. Yeah. And a bow tie. And I think, as Janine's just popping in, I think she has seen us talking about this as well. There's a fake narrative happening online. People are projecting that things are different to how they actually are. There's the narrative around the 6 and 7 figure. Let's try that again. The 6 and 7 figure. What the hell is happening to me?
I don't know what you're thinking about.
6 and 7 figure launches, funnels. There's these things that don't exist, and we actually find them not only inauthentic.
Deflating.
Well, they can be deflating, but they're not just inauthentic. They're also potentially quite harmful, because what they do is they send us all as small business owners down a path of false expectations. That's so strange, Janine. So do I. I made 6 figures just while we were on the beach. And it's exactly that. It's that fake narrative, and it's a problem, and it's setting false expectations. And it's also setting things up for a situation where people can flog you something on the basis of it's my proven success formula, it's my proprietary method, I came up with this because I'm a guru and whatever. And we want to really show you that we think it's different.
It doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't have to be that way, and it doesn't come from a guru or a genius or someone else. It comes from you, and you are the thing that makes your business unique, and it will make it work.
And that's why we say ignite your business from within. So how do I go to the next slide? Sorry. I'm a very techy person here. Yeah, so that's why today we really want to share with you the fastest way how you can finally focus and really put that efforts where it matters. And then looking to that 5-step system that allows you to connect the dots between your customers, your offers, your marketing channels, and tie it all in with your personality.
Yeah.
And then we're also looking to, actually, that's the key to creating and maintaining sustainable business, is creating it for you, creating it for your personality, and understanding what you can actually do to allow yourself to stick to the plan. Because the plan is good as you implement it. And then we'll give you the solution of how you can do it with the small business blueprint that we have actually released quite recently, and that's the framework that we're going to introduce you to.
Yeah, and Annie, who's here, and I think Lisa's with us as well. They have worked through some of the process of the blueprint already, and it's been really cool to see what has come up from it, because the direction you think your business is going in, or you think you want it to go in, may not be. We found this massively in the last couple of weeks. Like, we've done some 360s and 180s and all sorts of things on what we actually want from the business. And I think getting intentional about the process and thinking about it in a different way within a framework can help you do that and give direction.
Yeah. And that's where we come to our vision. We got to be honest that initially, well, first of all, we're a husband and wife. Got to be honest about that one. Initially, when we got into the business, we also wanted to go away from the corporate world. We sort of liked the idea of pina coladas and 6-figure launches.
Getting caught in the rain.
But while doing business, we actually realized that what we're doing, processes and systems, we're not doing it for the sake of money, or our vision is so much bigger than that. Like, we really want to, and actually last couple of weeks, we realized how we really don't know what's going on behind the doors. There are so many business owners that show that they sort of doing okay, but they turn off the lights within days. And that's really our vision, what motivates us, is to create and support that small business economy that we are.
Yeah.
And through real and transparent approach to business, really.
Just a very counter the narrative that we see and the falsehood around it.
Yeah.
So we don't want to go too deep into my favorite color and your favorite color, which is another thing that really irritates us. But so tell us if this sounds like you, because we've been talking this week about the idea of having a sandwich problem. And a sandwich problem is when the two pieces of your business are in good shape. You've got the two separate elements, but you're missing the filling that goes in the middle. And as a result, you don't have a cohesive whole. So you've got the one piece of bread. That's your lofty vision for your business. You know what you want to create, where you want it to go. And you're also a subject matter expert. You're good at what you do. It's that idea of being a technician. So the copywriter like Janine, who is really good at the copy side of things, thinks to themselves, you know what, I don't want to work for somebody else. I want to actually go out on my own. And then you find yourself in the position where you're really good at copy, but does that connect with the vision for the business? And unless you find the way to put those two pieces together, it doesn't necessarily work. And you can find yourself in a situation where you're feeling stuck. You're not sure whether it's, yes, it does indeed.
It's like you're feeling stuck. You don't know where the opportunities are and how to go forward. Do I give it up, or do I keep working on what I'm doing?
Yeah.
And it's more like you're working on hoping that
this one will work.
Yeah, it seems like quite a few people. Louise says yes, it does.
Vicky's with us as well. Awesome. So with this idea of the sandwich problem and not having the connection between your vision and your skills on the ground, the typical result is that you feel like there's a knowledge gap, And this is shiny object syndrome. This is buying courses. This is frantically trying to piece together the skills you think you need to bridge that gap. And it often also manifests in inaction, in a lack of being willing to just go out and do the things. So we start, busted out the hashtags here. So you end up working harder. So it's either a case of, I'm working every hour of the day, and it's that, okay, being in business means I need to hustle. And we justify it to ourselves that these are just me paying my dues kind of thing. Or it's learning more. So we're buying courses left, right, and center. And yeah, like I know Janine has until recently had a ban on buying courses. So like we do know that we fall into this trap, but it just feels like there could be a quick solution or a silver bullet. I saw you to secrecy, Mondo Biondo. I'm so tired of hustle time. Yeah, hustle time sucks, and it's not necessary. And then the third one, which is even worse, which is looking for another success formula. And that's the false promises. That's when you're in desperation time, and nobody wants to
and
be
we're
there.
Totally all guilty of that. We all been sold the dummy once or twice or even more.
Yeah.
And then in reality, it is really all about this. It is a decision gap.
Yeah.
And decision gap comes when
the decision gap comes when you've got you've got the two pieces. You've got the two pieces, and what you don't need is more hustle time. You don't need more learning time or more courses or anything like that. What you actually need to do is make a clear decision about what are the skills that you're going to connect with your vision to make it happen, to turn it into a roadmap, a blueprint, a clear strategy that if nothing else is a focus mechanism. Because just as much as it's about choosing what I do want to do, it's even more choosing what I don't want to do. What do I not put time into?
Yeah, and it's really about zeroing in on what are the key skills I have that I want to go forward with, and does it align with the vision I want to go forward with? And that is really the biggest differentiation between the successful business and the one that is either stagnating or failing, is deciding what knowledge or ideas you should actually use and put them into a blueprint that merges with vision and tactics.
Yeah, and I want to be totally honest on this point, because this one really connects for us. Even over recent months, we've had a lot of experience with this.
Yeah.
There have been things that we've wanted to do. So we've run Facebook ad campaigns, and they've been, frankly, a crashing failure. More recently, we've been looking at, I had my absolute heart set on putting in place this quiz that leads this way and that way. And we do think it's a great idea, but it's not necessarily the right time now. And kind of you had to let me down gently on the idea. But
it's all because small business owners, we do have a finite of resources. And as much as we have so many ideas, we do have a limited amount of time, but also what fulfills us, it might be different to what actually works.
So
this one is really can you actually associate with that? Can you relate to the problem itself, guys?
It's really about, do you feel that there is a disconnect, and you've got the knowledge and the ideas, but it's, how do I put it together? How do I keep focused on what I'm doing now and not be pulled into, I think, something else? Yes, I do. I think it's a really common experience. It happens for us, and it happens for most business owners. So point number one is the main one, I think, here, because focus is so necessary and so elusive. It is, absolutely. And what's scary is that there are teams of people working at places like Facebook whose sole job is to hook you. Like their absolute only job is to make it an addictive product.
Mm-hmm.
With number 2 and number 3 for Janine, results on that. Yeah. So what we are faced with is an environment that is designed
to distract,
designed to build a habit, to have variable reward, all of those kind of things. And everything that's assaulting you is against your focus. And it takes clarity and a real decision that I'm going to stick with this thing that I'm doing now. I'm going to give it focus at the moment. And I think one of the really cool things we realized recently is that when you're constantly assaulted by new ideas, there's that fear of missing out thing. And it's useful in those situations just to actually recognize that you're getting those ideas and write them down somewhere, put them off to the side. You don't have to do them now. It doesn't mean that you're never going to do them, but yeah. So there are ways to counter that overwhelm, but I think we all encounter it.
As all of us know, growth starts with focus. And the focus really comes from the roadmap. Once we have the vision, which is translated into a strategy, and then daily activities, and only then picking up the tools or how you're going to do it through Facebook, so on and so forth, which is common sense, but usually it's not a common practice. And instead, we really get caught up in the busy work and at times even knowing that it's not going to bring results and it doesn't align with what we're doing, but we do it anyways for whatever reason. And most of the time it's because we're not guided by a clear strategy. Therefore, we tend to multitask, feeling that if I'll do more and take this course and that course and finish this and this, I'll do better. And that's where it comes to seeking constant improvement, the courses, and buying the promises that we hope will help. And then we struggle with momentum because we don't stick to one strategy long enough to see the results. And it actually creates the vicious circle of frustration and constant iteration, trying something new but not getting results. And that's where the roadmap comes in. And the roadmap is like anything else. If you want to get from one place to another, you really want to see that step 1, 2, 3, how do I get to where I want to get to? And
it kind of feels a little bit trite to lay it out that, a roadmap is a focus mechanism. But I think it's one of those things that's so common sense that we often forget about it in the I don't know, on the ground, when you're actually doing stuff. When you actually think about the fact that, do I have a clear start and end point and a system to keep me on track when all those distractions come in and start pulling you away? So it is that high level view. It's the high level view that eliminates unnecessary time sucks, in that you can say, no, I'm not doing this. Yes, I am doing this.
But it's also a roadmap that works for you. If you want to fly from London to New York, you're going to buy the ticket from London to New York, regardless what deals you're going to get for, let's say, Cyprus. You're just flying to New York. And that's the idea of it.
That's a bit of genius right there.
I mean, you right away feel it's not right for you. It's not you. You just want to get to New York. And that's where roadmap plays that key role.
Yeah. And I think a key point here as well is empowering you to defer and delegate. So as I said about putting the sort of FOMO ideas off to the side where you can consider them at a later point, the roadmap allows you to say, yes, this is a valid idea and it's something I want to explore, but it's not the right time right now. A roadmap to guide the way. So before we go into what the actual steps of the roadmap are and how we can start to map it out, let us know where you are. 1, 2, 3, or 4. With 1 being, I really have clarity on what journey are my customers on, where are my products and services going. It's on my to-do list, and he's got it on a to-do list. Okay.
Anyone's.
2 and 3.
No, again.
No, that's good though, because I think that's where most of us are. We have an idea, we have a hypothesis on where we think we are, where we think we want to go, and with the best of intention to get to it. But we don't get to it because we're doing all the stuff. We're doing this strategy, we're doing that strategy. So if we're really honest about it, will that 2 and 3 ever become a 1 if we keep playing things the way they are now? You'll always have a to-do list, and you'll always have a set of ideas and hypotheses. I pretend I'm a 1, but look behind the curtain. Yeah, but I don't think it's. I think the issue there with that is you might have a value judgment on whether I should be a 1, a 2, or a 3. It just is one or the other, and there is a mechanism for getting to the stage of having a 1. Yeah. So this is a 5-step framework. It's very simple on the surface. It's actually very simple anyway.
It does require a bit of work.
Yeah, it does require a bit of work, as all good things do, but it's really a framework and a mechanism for getting to that 1. Because as always, you've no doubt been told many times to go and create an ideal customer, an avatar, etc. And there's obviously validity in that. You have to know who your customer is. But the thing we have to be mindful of is that customers are not things on a page. They're not stationary. They're not static. They are on a journey. And your products and services, what you offer them, is supposed to be a means to transformation. So it's more helpful to look at your customer as somebody on a journey than it is to say, Bob, who's 32 and lives in Portland.
I love your examples of
it's
Bob.
Always Bob, isn't it? Yeah. But it's about conceiving of a person as a person. Think about yourself and anything that you bought. Why did you buy a course? You bought it because you want to go from where you are to a better version of yourself. So why would you?
And it works regardless whether it's a product or a service. It's really about that transformation, that journey that customer takes from the moment when they become your customers or clients.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at, okay, now I understand what transformations I provide to my customers. What do I offer? Do I offer the right products at the right step of their journey? Do they actually fit in what they need in the customer journey? Because a lot of the times we've done quite a lot of coaching interviews, and we find that the aha moments were coming up when people like, yeah, right, I have a package for $500 and probably it's not the right one. And it's really those things that once you look at the person as a person, what they want to achieve through the journey that they go with you, does your service reflect that offer? And then we go into marketing strategically.
Before we go into marketing strategically, I think it's worth just fleshing that out a little bit more, because those first 2 foundational levels are where everything happens. So as you said, there is work to be done in determining that customer journey, but chances are you already have a set of customers who you can look at and you can say, where did they come in, at what sort of stage were they at, and when I finished working with them, or they had bought my product and worked through it, where were they? What was the transformation that happened? What value did I bring? And the way that we like to think of it is, we talk about the journey our customers are on as a journey from chaos, a state of being lots of ideas, lots of moving parts, all sorts of things, but a lack of clarity, to the next stage, which is clarity. So now we've got an understanding of where do I want to get to, what steps should I take, and then it's more about taking focused action, and then finally getting to a stage of impact where processes are mapped out, products and services are mapped out, and it's now how can I start to work with my team more effectively. So when you know that journey, what does that enable you to do? It helps you map your products and services. So at that first stage of chaos, there's a product that corresponds, there's a service that corresponds, to get them to clarity. And finally, and correspondingly, there's a set of products or services there to the next stage. So looking at it from that perspective, it's key then that, as you say, you're only getting to the marketing piece now.
And yeah, once you get to the marketing piece, you're not looking at it, oh, that funnel worked for someone. You're really looking inside of your business and looking at the numbers. Like, for example, if you had 10 clients, where did they come from? Once you understand where they're coming from and what channel worked for you the most, because usually we already have a business, we have some clients, and we can analyze what works. And that's the whole idea about the blueprint as well, that you don't need anything else. Just look inside of your business, look at your customers, look at your products, look at the channels that work, and amplify them. And that's where the tools and systems come into place. There's strategic things that help you make that impact bigger. And that's whether, the process for onboarding or the process for Facebook funnel, whatever that marketing channel or whatever it worked for you, that's where you're going to be looking first.
Yeah. And that's really counter to the normal approach of what is in vogue at the moment. So it could be chatbots are all the rage, or I must increase my Facebook Live visibility because the new algorithm means I'm going to get visibility that way. But the question isn't being asked, is my customer on that journey where that makes sense? Do the products and services correspond with that? And do I even enjoy doing those things? Like, am I a Facebook Live person? You don't have to be.
Yeah.
And if it's not the channels that work for you, then you shouldn't
consider them.
Do it,
because usually it's a deviation. And I'll give you an example. Recently, we became very active on LinkedIn because LinkedIn is the new go-to tool. And a lot of people do it, connect with people, write messages which are generic, nothing personal. And while we understood the approach of,
spray and pray,
it doesn't stick with us. It's not us. We want to create genuine connections. We want to spend time personalizing because we know that's where sustainable growth and comes for us, but that's also who we are, and we couldn't sustain any other tactic as much as we wanted to.
Yeah, and that's a good question, like looking at who you are.
Yeah.
When you, in terms of what approach feels authentic to you, like for a very brief time, I tried, as you say, taking an approach to Facebook that was more scalable, LinkedIn, that was more scalable, and it didn't feel right at all, and stuck for maybe a day. So you have to recognize and work with what feels right for you, not the marketing approach that brought somebody else 6, 7, 8, 9 figures.
Yeah. And that's actually where the personality comes into place. And that's the last step of the business growth that actually ties the whole thing together. Because as much as you have a plan and you cannot stick to it, it doesn't work. That's why we cannot be consistent. That's why we're still constantly distracted, because we don't know what works for us. For us, for example, we both are rebels. We don't like to be told what to do. We have our own plan, and each of us knows better. And in the beginning, it was incredible how we could not just be controlled by each other. But when we realized that this is who we are and this is how we work,
then I could give in to being controlled by you.
No, we found.
You just got the answer to that, Louise.
We found the approach, like for me, what works, I need a rationale to accept something. I need to see the facts, the clear strategy, and know that that's something that's backed up. I don't accept just an idea. for you, you really need to, James really need to see the progress. Thank you.
I need to see. Yeah, a great example of this is, so I'm a canoeist, and whenever I talk to Sveta about the training session that I just did,
I guess
she glazes over straight away because, and it even applies when we do gym together or something like that. I'm looking at, what did I do last time we did this session? Did I improve on that? Like, there's got to be a metric. Otherwise, it doesn't have any real meaning to me, anything tangible about it. And when you start to recognize that that is the framework that you work within, you can start to design working routines, systems, etc., that are actually sustainable because they're aligned with you.
And we had to work it out because we sworn to be in bed and all of those things, right? So we're married, so we have to work it out. But if you look at it from a team perspective, from working with other people, outsourcing, it becomes so much easier when you recognize that's them, and what works for you might not necessarily work for them. And that's where a lot of conflicts come from: expectations. I do this way, I laid out the structure, why my VA cannot follow it?
Yeah. And that's a great example, because as we're all going along in our businesses, there's going to be a point where other people should come on board, and that recognition of how you work could save you getting 16 different VAs, because you keep perceiving a problem with them, and maybe the problem is, or it's not a problem at all, but it's just a recognition of how you work and what your personality is.
And the biggest difference about this framework, you probably realize that it's all centered within your business, around your customers, around your authors, around your marketing, around your systems, and around your personality. So it really, in reality, business is simple. You already have a business, you already have you already have customers, and all of other elements. It's just, how can you translate that into a tangible roadmap? How can you connect the dots so that you actually see the vision and you can pull through it, because that's something that fulfills you. And that's really what is it all about. It's in a way, for us, when we came around this, we realized we felt so much lighter because we knew what road we're on. We now know what courses or whatever we want to take, because we know how it aligns with where we're going. And it's sort of like a sense of relief that, gosh, I'm still going to be tempted, but I'm not going to be pulled. I'm not going to reach out for my card. Maybe I'll reach out, but I'm not going to type in the numbers, because it'll be like, how does it feel fit into my journey?
Yeah. So I think it's the way that we like to think about this 5-step system. If as a kid you were into Lego, I'm still into Lego, to be honest. But we think of it as kind of building. A Lego, build the wall. It's building foundation, and the pieces layer on top of each other, just like you're building Lego blocks. So step number 1, I think it's worth looking at all of the steps and how they fit in, and how step number 3 doesn't work without steps number 2 and 1 before them. So as always, it is talking about who is your customer, but the shift in approach here is, I would say, the most transformational thing is looking at your customer not as static, but rather as on a journey. And with that, identifying the different points that they go along. So it's always valuable to give a good example of how it might work. So let's do it from our own business. So at step 1, at that chaotic stage, the course that we would recommend is probably the blueprint. Yeah. And that's not chaos in a negative sense. It is in a sense of, I'm at answer 2 and 3 that we spoke about earlier. I have an idea. it's on my
it's
to-do
not
list.
so much an idea. It's like you have everything working, but it doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel cohesive.
It just, everything is working, but something is missing. And that's where, for us, Blueprint comes into place, because it really gives that clarity. And then from that, we'll look at how can sort of, when the customer comes with the problem of clarity, I don't know whether you can say that, then we'll look, how does that blueprint solves that problem?
Yeah.
And at which point do we offer that particular product?
Yeah.
And then it moves into what worked. For example, what works for us is joint ventures. And that's what we do. We solely focus on what works and not what feels like us. And that's what really allows us to go overall ups and downs, because we're doing what we like.
Yeah.
And joint ventures, strategic partnerships, through genuine connections, that's what we are. And that's why it works for us. And then we'll look at it, okay, we have now that our main marketing channel is joint ventures. How can we make the process of reaching out to strategic partners, onboarding or collaborating with strategic partners easier? Is it a process in Asana that we have or in Trello, or is it I don't know, some template, not template per se, but some outline how we reach out to people, what do we say and what examples do we give them? So those are the things that actually allow us to take the busy work out of it and humanize the exception, which is for us that genuine touch and genuine outreach.
Yeah. And the third point on marketing strategically, a great example that comes to mind, hope Lisa won't kill me for sharing, but we chatted to one of our students, and she identified that live events were the thing that she loved to do. And so marketing strategically in that sense meant booking in live events, having a process for making sure that the events are streamlined and that they happen in as seamless a way as possible every time. So she didn't look at, should I be doing Facebook ads for my e-commerce side of things? It was, I love doing events. I've seen results from events, so I'm going to create a process for it. So the link there between point 3 of marketing strategically and 4 effective marketing systems, the effective marketing system there can be as simple as a process in Asana or Trello for what do I do every single time I have a live event. Oh, I've got to, like, it can be as simple as I've got to pack this many things into the back of my car, etc. It doesn't have to be fancy. We're not talking Infusionsoft. Maybe it is Infusionsoft if that's right for you, but it doesn't have to be. And that's what again links to number 5, which is about you. All of these are about you in a good way.
And that's actually one of the examples how the blueprint can look for you. And it was very interesting that when we were speaking to one of the students, we started from just mapping out the journey. And the result was completely different. Like when we started the conversation, we knew that there was something missing. But unless there is an interaction, understanding of what you're actually trying to achieve and where you want to go, what you like to do or not. So we started thinking about the product, but we ended up realizing that what she offers right now, that's not a complete journey. It's just one product. And Matt actually came to the result of what she is doing right now. That's her long-term vision product.
She knew it.
Yeah. So and it was an amazing call because
we really enjoyed that conversation because it was like a realization.
Yeah, you come into it with an expectation, but you discover that actually it can be totally different. And I think we came away from the call so inspired and sort of like, oh, we can't wait to see that product or the second product that you're going to be working on. So it's really what fulfills it, because it's really genuine conversation to what you do, what you want to do, and how you want to align it with your long-term vision that actually allows you to keep the business going. Because if you don't like it, you're not going to sustain it, and for one reason or another, you're going to go out of business. And that's sadly the reality of small business owners. But as our vision is to support small business owners, and it's really something that fulfills us to the core. We've made so many amazing connections and friendships through working together. So that's
what works for us.
Yeah.
Relationships. Yeah. We took quite a long route to potentially get to that realization.
Yeah.
And it's really good that we got there.
It was a very long
route. Yeah. So to break it down into to break it down into something very simple, what it comes down to is roadmap, laying it out using those 5 steps. The result is focus. Focus allows you to take clear action, say no to things that you shouldn't be doing right now, and the result is business growth. It's as simple as that. And I think we get so caught up in doing a million different activities and things and just busy with it. And there's this amazing feeling of lightness when you actually say,
have to drop something.
Yeah, I have to drop all of this stuff. I know that Janine's just dropped Twitter because, like, why are we doing it? Everyone's on Twitter, but what is the business value? Do I enjoy it? Does it work for me? No. Cool, I'm going to drop it. And yeah, Twitter sucks. It's a true story. Like the experts tell you must tweet 10 times a day. Tell me the return on investment of tweeting 10 times a day. Have you ever got a single customer from Twitter?
No,
maybe someone has, but
you don't even get satisfaction. Like it's a different story.
No, very nice, Vicky. You had to ruin the rant.
No, but that's exactly it. It works.
It could work for you, and then maybe that's the thing to focus on.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't work for us at all. And when you look inside your business, but it's about conversations, not just pushing info. That's absolutely the case. Social media should be about conversations, not pushing info. But yesterday on LinkedIn, I actually posted a question and I said, what percentage of what you post on LinkedIn is not promotional or like faux promotional? Here's something I'm sharing with the best of intent, but it's actually just a means for me to get a client. So yeah, when you treat social media as a conversation mechanism, then absolutely. Too many social media platforms to keep up with. I finally get my best ROI on Facebook, some on Instagram, and Pinterest.
No, I would say it's about what works for you. And whoever says, it really has to align with what we do. It has to fulfill you and make you feel good, that you're not just wasting your time.
Yeah, totally. So now that we've gone through what the roadmap is, the 5 steps, etc., we want to help you eliminate the guesswork. So we've spoken a little bit today about how Annie has worked through the blueprint and what we've discovered and the kind of realizations along the way. And we are genuinely excited about this product, about the blueprint, about what it enables you to do in a very short period of time. Literally within 7 days, you can map out where your business is, where you want it to go, and what works for you, so that it's so much more organic and feels authentic, and you eliminate the channels that you shouldn't be spending time on. All of those things can be done very quickly.
And I would say we are on the mission to just make it super easy and simple for small business owners to actually focus on what matters to them.
Yeah.
And that's the framework that just, I think every time we go through it, it blows up my mind how awesome it is. But in a sense that I do feel that for us especially, we we just realigned our business completely, and that lightness that comes with it, that's all what we need as business owners, to be focused and be on the mission to fulfill our own mission in a way.
Yeah, so the blueprint is a system to build a roadmap, a clear roadmap.
Yeah.
And I think just one more example that I want to give is that we have realized recently that community is a absolutely key part of our business. We've created the Community Systems HQ for our students, and it's actually been a result of running through this process ourselves.
Yeah.
And removing the dead weight from our own process.
And we were talking about like live videos. Oh, it works for this. We need to do more visibility, more this, more that. But what it came down to, again, it doesn't work for us. We want to build a community, and within the community, we are happy to do the videos.
Yeah.
And that's, again, we were talking about it just today, saying, so relieved that I don't have to go onto live every
Some
week
people do it
or whatever.
every day.
So
Janine's embracing her inner Facebook Live.
But Janine is very good.
She's very good at it. She's very natural with it. Yeah. So the blueprint. Let's give you a quick breakdown of how simple it is. It works for you. Really? Yeah. No, really. Like, you are genuinely comfortable and come across as authentic on Facebook Live. So it's a great channel for you. And you got a great response from it, even though I tried to make it difficult for you. So the blueprint works for you even if you're directionally challenged, like me and my aunt. If you have no idea where to start, Peanut Gallery, you have no idea where to start, whether it's a lack of clarity on the stage of the business, whatever it might be, and you're unclear on the journey that your customers are taking. It's a process for working through that and identifying that. And also product market fit.
Yeah.
So the Small Business Growth Blueprint, which is what we want to invite you to check out. And it is those 5 steps. It's broken down in that way. And it's about shifting your business to the next stage. Wherever you are now, it'll take you to the next stage. It's that exact system. You'll connect the dots. That's the big pain. Connecting the dots between what I'm doing on a daily basis and where I want to get to in the longer term. And that's absolutely crucial. And as you say, 5 modules. Don't hide that. Instant access. My mouth. Instant access to the implementation-focused community. So Systems HQ that we were talking about. We really pride ourselves on personal support, personal contact. That's not your bog standard Facebook group. It's not even on Facebook for that matter.
Yeah.
It's about your personal, and it's about implementation. Nothing else matters. Like a course doesn't matter unless you start to implement and actually do that. It's true, you guys. That's very sweet of you, Jimmy. Group support sessions. So that means we have a dedicated space within Systems HQ, and that's going to be 3 support sessions where we have live calls. It'll be on Zoom, and we'll look into your blueprint and what are the steps that need work. What are the realizations that are going to happen?
And that's where the biggest transformations happen, because usually when we work it through things on our own, we sometimes don't see it. Just sometimes really requires one person from the outside to ask you a question. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened with Annie as well. That's and we want to include it because for us interaction is key, and what is more important for us, that's the transformations that you get. We don't want it, you were saying earlier that, right, we are talking about the course, but we're talking about the course, the framework that you can utilize wherever. So it will guide you regardless where you are in your business, and you'll be able to see what fits in within your business.
And the second bonus, which is the thing that we're working on at the moment, is it's going to be interviews with people in different business models. So service-based, product-based, group coaches, whatever it might be, so that you get an idea of how does this apply to somebody else's business. It's that same sort of 10,000 foot view to see how it could apply to you. So those we're going to be introducing over the next few weeks and months, step by step. So those are going to be coming. And yes, the final thing is for first 3 people who take us up on the offer, we are going to do a one-to-one session with you as well to absolutely nail down the blueprint so that you've got total clarity, which is really the ultimate goal.
So do you guys have any questions?
Like, why is my face so red from being burnt, whatever it might be. But yeah, in all seriousness, let us know what your thoughts are in terms of where you are in the business, the journey, anything on will the blueprint help me with this or will it not? Because for us, it's more important that it be the right fit. If it isn't the right fit, then we don't think you should go for it, and we happily point you towards the right thing.
Yeah.
So any questions on any of that, we're happy to answer now, or either you can always send us an email and we can go into it there as well. Work with city governments, chambers of commerce, tourism entities. Will it work with this type of client? Absolutely. The idea is that whatever the business model, the clients they only hired you to get a result. And by virtue of that, they are intending to go on a journey of transformation. So it really doesn't matter what the business model is. It's looking at what journey are they on?
Yeah.
What is the means by which I get them there? Is it consulting? Is it working with them one-to-one? And then just working backwards from there towards the marketing strategy, towards the systems that need to be in place, and towards making it work for you.
And it's really about what requests do they come in? And once they start working with you, what changes for them? And that's the journey that you map out. And then you actually, based on that, you see whether your offers, your packages, and everything else aligns with that.
You may find that there are opportunities for a completely new set of service offerings or products that will serve them better. And everybody wins from that.
Yeah, and for most of the time, actually, for all of the interviews that we've done, it's actually, we don't see all of the offers. We actually miss quite a lot of opportunities along the line because we make an assumption that our clients need this, and once they finish this package, that's it. But at times, sometimes we need to break down our products into 20% product, as in they're not going to just come in and pay 5,000. They need something a bit smaller to get to know you, to start trusting you, but also trusting themselves that they can complete it, they can do it, and so on.
So they might start, for example, with a consultation session with you where you come in and you offer them some strategy and how they should go forward. You get them to the point where they then recognize, you know what, she really knows what she's talking about. We want to go forward with this, but we don't have the means or the know-how or the willingness to do it ourselves. So who do they hire? You work with them, you get them to the point that they want to be at, and on the tail end of that, you realize that there is a kind of retainer or aftercare type thing that you can offer them as well, because you now know where you took them to with your more intensive service. What can I offer that is of benefit to them and is a sort of a maintenance product, if you will. So whatever the business model is, the same process will fit in.
And it also helps narrow down the messaging because once you know whether it's a mini or big transformations, you know exactly how to call your offers and how to market one product or another, because we always speaking to the audience or to niche or the client, whatever it might be. So it's really this focus mechanism that helps you just be clear on where you're going.
Yeah. So in terms of the actually getting hold of the blueprint, at the bottom of the page, just beneath the presentation, you will see that shiny yellow button leading you to the page that's going to tell you a little bit more about the program, how it's broken down, what it includes, and really take a look through that and see if it's all making sense for you. And again, get in touch with us if you have any questions about it, and we will be absolutely happy to talk you through it. So we hope that going through that framework has been helpful for you and has given you some ideas on, I think if there's one, even if you just took one thing away from all of this, it's to look at your customers not as static, but as on a journey, and think about what can I offer them at the various stages that moves them along and helps them towards the final outcome that they're looking for. Anything else you wanted to add?
I think for me, biggest takeaway is you are enough. You have your business, and it's all within your business.
It's getting all touchy-feely.
Yeah. No, but that's the truth.
That is the truth, yeah.
So guys, let us know if you have any questions. Send us an email on
james@systemsmatter.com or if you insist, Sveta@systemsmatter.com. Yeah.
And we'll be in touch.
Absolutely. Have a great rest of the day if you're in the States, and we will speak to you very soon. And thank you, Janine. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Any questions, get back to us, and we'll be absolutely happy to help.
Yeah.
Bye from Cyprus.
Bye.